Hi, I'm Adrienne from Azura Real Estate and Property Management, and I'm with my bestie over here, Michael Marino from
Marino Legal.
So we're always teaming up. He has his own firm located in...
We have an office in Palm Beach Gardens and an office in Davie, but we serve clients all over the world and can close and help you with legal matters all over Florida.
Exactly. So today, Michael and I wanted to talk about probate. What is probate, Michael?
Probate, oh boy. Well, probate is the process of administering someone's estate when they pass away. And with probate, there's people that die with a will and people that die without a will. When you die with a will, that process is the process of authenticating the will, determining who the heirs are, determining who the creditors are. And when there is no will, it's the process of determining who the heirs are who are going to receive whatever.
I got to stop you right there. I got to stop you right there. So you have a will. Mm-hmm. And then, unfortunately, someone passes that you love.
Right.
And there's some equity. There's some money in the will.
Right.
Money maybe in real estate, which is where you and I come in.
Right.
But what happens if someone says, "Oh no, Gramps was sick and he did it when the nurse was taking care of him, and they cut me out."
Right.
So, is that part of the probate? Does that get contested? How does that work?
That would be a contested probate if somebody wanted to come in and contest it and allege that that dad was not in his right state of mind and he was influenced, he did it under duress, etc. So that's always something that comes into play. Right. So the bottom line, I think is that you want to plan. And you want to plan to avoid problems within the family and avoid battles and frankly avoid attorney's fees because it ends up being very expensive and very time consuming. So one of the questions I always get is how do we avoid probate? And it's actually one of the parts of my practice that I do quite a bit. I like to help people avoid that process. And again, through proper planning, it can be done.
So just for 1 second, if you can take myself and then our audience, and thank you for all subscribing to our YouTube channel. Super appreciate it. Someone has a will and they live in New York because a lot of people are moving from New York. So we'll just use that as an example. And they die in Oklahoma. Okay. So what happens then with the chessboard? What is the process? Someone passes away. Mm-hmm. They were from another state and they had Florida holdings here. So how does that work?
So that would be called what we call an ancillary administration, an ancillary administration. You can't get the word out. And that basically means that you have to, even though you're a resident of New York, you still have to probate do a probate in Florida, and you have to basically hire a lawyer in Florida so that the property that you own in Florida or whatever you have in Florida can legally pass to your heirs. So the question, and again, I do get a lot of people from the Northeast and from other parts of the country that come here and they buy real estate here, and that's one of the questions: how do we avoid this probate problem?
So it's not like California where anything over $149,000 you have to go through the probate. They don't care. You have to go through the probate. So is that the same here in Florida?
No, not in Florida at all. Now if there's a small estate, there are things called like a summary administration where you can come in and do the probate quicker because there aren't a lot of assets. But again, the most important thing is planning. And there are a couple tools that you can use that are inexpensive, they're efficient, they're effective, and that's what I would recommend would be to use some of the tools that are
So you're going to share some of those tools with us today?
Of course.
A little bit. We're not giving free legal advice. We're just letting you know, as a real estate broker owner and someone very well respected for many years in the legal community, that deals with, foreign nationals, everyone outside of the United States, and Americans is, whether you're dealing with setting up someone's corporation because they're coming on a special work visa, working with them. There's just so many facets to what you do in real estate. So, it's crazy that we're even talking about probate, but it all circles back to real estate.
That's exactly right. And again, a couple examples. Somebody buys a property with their best friend. They have the best of intentions. They want to invest. They say, you know what, we're going to buy this property and we're going to flip it. So, John and his friend David buy a property. John dies in a car accident. And so now Dave owns the property. I think his name was Dave, but in any event, Dave owns the property now with John's wife and the children. Okay, and again, unintended consequence, but that is, and John's estate will have to be probated to then transfer title to that property to the heirs, and then the Dave then ends up owning this property with the heirs.
And that's if nobody comes in to contest the will.
Correct, and that could be another.
And that could be a whole other complication, right?
And so the other scenario is just that you have someone who's owned property here in many years. They're from New York and they own a condo here that they use as a second home, and they pass away. And again, same thing. You got to hire a lawyer. You got to go through a probate, and all of that's avoidable. Is the point? And one of the primary ways that we avoid it is the way that we structure the actual deed to the property. So one of the methods that I often
that you
recommend,
use, not for everybody, right?
Not for everybody, but one of the methods that I use and I very commonly recommend to my clients is a life estate deed. It's a simple, again, effective, efficient tool to avoid probate.
Right.
And basically, all you're doing would be is if I own this condo. I'm from New York, and I own a condo here in Florida. I would transfer title by just simply doing a deed. I would transfer title from myself to myself for life, and then I would name the remainder persons on the deed.
Okay.
So in that case, if I pass, all my heirs need to do is produce a death certificate, and they can sell the property, they can refinance the property, they can do whatever they want with the property. And so that would be a simple way of handling it's a succession plan that's simple.
What happens when someone owns a condo here in Florida? They pass away. Nobody really cares about the condo. They eventually want to sell off the condo. And that's where we come in, where we manage it. We do geo timestamp location inspection, so that all the lawyers and the people involved know who's coming and going in there. But what do you have to do when someone passes away as far as a condo association? Are you supposed to let them know that the person that's on the deed passed away? Are you supposed to do nothing? What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to inform them?
There's no legal requirement that I know of for having to actually inform the condo that somebody passed away, although it probably would be a good idea so that they understand that people will be coming and going, and then they'll be taking inventory and those types of things. So beyond that, I don't know that there's any law that says that you have to notify the condo association, although would probably be good.
But who keeps paying the condo fees? Who's responsible? So now we're in probate, unfortunately, because they didn't do the planning that you always suggest to our viewers and subscribers. Well, now what?
Right. So
who's in charge of paying that so it doesn't go into default?
The family would be in charge of it, and you would hope that the family would come and contact the association to make payment. If they don't do that, then in Florida, condominium associations do have some power, and if you don't pay your maintenance, your assessments to the association, they can file a claim of lien, and if you don't pay that claim of lien, they can foreclose the lien. So it can get pretty complicated. So you definitely want to stay on top of your maintenance, your condo assessments. Or your community association assessments, for sure.
So there's so much more to learn, and that's where you can reach out to Michael regarding that, or if you have something that's in, someone just passed away and you need somebody to do the property management and document everything and do the intake of the inventory. We also are able to not only inventory but move everything with trucking companies and moving companies to storage, lock it up, and then no one can take anything. And we just check on it to make sure there's no leaking, anything that could be inherently that would affect the amount of what it's worth. So Michael and I want to thank you for joining us for Michael and Adrian Market Update. Yes. And remember to subscribe, and if you have any questions, get in touch with us together.
We'll see you again soon.